welcome to another video. Today I am going to be doing some more sewing. So down here, boink, I have two fabrics. I have this like creamy white and this blue. It's very light blue. It's very pretty. So I'm basically making a present, and I'll start working on it while I'm speaking. So Christmas is coming around, and I have made this devotion to make everybody a present. So yeah, this person I am making this for, it likes D&D, which is a very cool game that I haven't gotten into, which is fine. So I'm gonna make them basically a little, whatchamacallit, a dice bag for them. So I'm gonna start off with a circle. Just because, like, it's gonna be one of those drawstring bags. So it'll basically come up to like a teardrop, and you weave string in and out of the top to kind of pull it tight and close it. So yeah, and thankfully I automatically started on the back side because I didn't even check for the fabric. Okay, so let me give you a rundown. This isn't gonna just be any ordinary drawstring sack. This is gonna have a cool rim on the top to kind of hide the string, which is going to be like a dragon wrapped around it. So basically there'll be like a tail, body all the way around, and then head. It'll kind of stop and head, and string will come out of its shoulders, kind of like a wings. So yeah. So hopefully it should be like a very simple design if I mathematically calculated this correctly in my head. So yeah. First off, I'm going to cut out all the shapes. So I'm going to cut out the tiny drawstring bag, which is this. And then I'm going to cut out a long piece of strip, just one, that can fit the circumference. I believe that is the correct term of this. As well as making a little toy head right there, so the head and tail will kind of basically meet. Yeah, so I'll cut out all the pieces, and then I'll come back and show you my sewing process for that. Now that you know what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be speeding this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go! Oh, hello. Okay, so excuse me. Okay, so I cut everything up. I still have problems with the head, mainly because I made it too small. So I'm gonna try again after everything's sewn together, so that way I can get a better idea of how big it should be, and hopefully not waste fabric because I keep cutting it too small. So, as you could tell, I have a base, which was just a circle, and then two sides that are half the circumference. So the circumference of the circle was like 18.5. So I split it into like half. I just used my calculator, and thankfully it was like 8.75, which is definitely readable. Also, so I sewed those all together, and then for the rim, the blue rim, I basically folded the edges together and then sewed it down the line. I wish I did it at my house because we only had white sewing, and you can definitely see the string on both sides, which is a little ugly, but I don't have time to fix it because I'm on a tight schedule. And then as you can see here, this is the base, or you know, like the bag, and I also cut a bunch of slits down the rim all the way along, because for a string pull bag there has to be string that's like weaved in between the holes that you can just pull, and the fabric will just like crunch up like this. So I made a bunch of holes, and I'm gonna button sew them. So basically what that means is I'm gonna take a piece of string and sew the slit like both sides here and here, so that way it doesn't start opening up over time, especially because of it being really close to the top. That's no bueno. I also have a bunch of different colored blue string right here, as well as some green hidden in there. I'm going to pull all those out, probably like to my collarbone, to my full length of my arm, and then braid all these together so that I have my string nice and colorful and it sticks with the pattern or the color scheme. I'm going to weave that in the holes first, and then I'm going to sew this over it, so that way it's not a nightmare to try and weave the string in the holes. And I also cut a hole here where the string will exit, so I also have to buttonhole sew that. So at this point, this is gonna be a lot of hand sewing with you know, bonding all the holes, and then also hand sewing the rim on top of the fabric, kind of folded like that. So yeah, this is a very tedious part of the project. Hopefully I won't stall on it too much, because, you know, time constraint. Now that you know what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be speeding this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go.
Alright, hello. So, I finally got this hand sewed. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I also frayed the string a little bit to make it look more pizzazzy. So now, I'm going to see if this actually will pull. Alright, ready? Okay, it's a little tight. That might be a bit of an issue. Alrighty. It's fine, it'll buff out. Okay, well now the next step is to make the head. So basically, I'm going to make 2 bean shapes and then a rounded triangle. So that way the 2 beans are kind of like the side of the face, and then the rounded triangle will be the chin. So it'll be kind of round, and then it'll kind of go off, and yeah, so that way the cheeks come out more and it looks more like a head, like a dragon head. You know how it's kind of like a diamond. So yeah, that is the next step. So I gotta cut and sew. I'm also going to use buttons for the eyes, so that'll be fun. I'll stuff the head, close it off, and then hand sew it on. So yeah, now that you know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speed this process up so you can see it in action. Without further ado, let's go.